Hanish, bringing you part two of our update on how to do some online marketing. This is part of the S.M.A.R.T series. If you have not seen part one, go back and watch it. What I'm going to share with you right now is how I put content online. If not, you can go to hanish.io, depending if you're watching part one or part two and you want to watch these steps as I play them out over the week. Go to hanish.io, click on the blog, and there you will find a complete list of parts 1 through however many of these I do. So this one, I'm going to show you how I actually put out some additional content, and it's going to be based on the video that we did yesterday, which is part of our podcast. So this is the video we did yesterday on SMART goals, and later on I'm going to post the actual content that we talk about in this video, how I put it online, where I go to put it online. So this particular content is designed specifically for real estate agents, right? This is for branding purposes, right? This is to brand for Ever Homes, who I am the spokesman for. David Bartels is the CEO, I'm their spokesman. And the idea of this is to create content and brand awareness for Everhome. It's clearly laid out in the video. So my job is to put this into the hands of real estate agents. The really simple way of doing this, when you're on Facebook, what you want to do is use the search bar, right? So if we were talking about homeowners, I would put in homeowners. So in this particular case, what I'm going to search for is anything with the word realtor. And it will give me the option of looking for pages, groups, etc. I'm going to click on groups, and I can specify cities and locations of anywhere I want to do it, but I can search and join these groups that are in and around me in the San Diego area, right? San Diego Real Estate Friends. It makes sense to join these groups. I'm going to join as my profile, and I'll show you why in just a moment. It will occasionally ask you questions, right? I understand that I'm not allowed to spam. When they mean spam, anything about your real estate business and things like that, you can put in usually content. I am in coaching, right? Yes, I won't spam. In my experience, videos that are informative will never be considered spam by these groups. That is just consistently what I've seen. There you go. That's as simple as I can make it. And there you go. And as simple as that, I've answered my questions. It's been placed. So that's how I do it. The same is true when I'm looking for homeowners. So I like buy and sell groups. And as you can see, I'm a member of many buy and sell groups depending on the location or groups. I'll show you. And we'll cover this when I'm actually doing the content to drive towards the Everhome website. This is no different than if you wanted to do it yourself. I just joined groups like Craigslist and San Diego Swap Meets, places that will allow me to do content. We'll talk about message in parts 3. I'm going to set up a video. I'll probably use a newscast, and I'll probably use an article, and I'll do all 3 of those. And as we talked about in part 1, I'm going to try to drive 100 people onto the Everhome webpage, right? This is my job, is to get people here that are interested in selling their house through the Everhome process. So once I've set up all of these buy and sell groups, right, I can now go back to my page where my content is located. You want to have a business page. I've done a lot of videos on this in the past. I'll probably post in one of these parts, one of those videos on how to set up a page and how I set up pages. I've done them actually in my coaching groups. Probably up above, I will add a link to my older coaching calls. If you'd like, you can click on that. You can also join us on Wednesday at 9 o'clock and ask us live questions as well, and be a part of our community of people that we coach and give information to. It's 100% free. There's no obligation. In fact, the only thing you have to do is put in your name and your email to get into our catalog and be a part of our calls. That's it. No sales pitch, no nothing. Occasionally we talk about distressed properties, and we do some coaching on that. We also have some products for that. But each and every week we answer questions for free. All right, so once I've got the content uploaded onto Facebook, my video, my audio, whatever, onto my business page, my goal now is to get more people to watch it. So this is the whole post right here. I'm only going to keep a part of this, right? My goal is to drive business at Everhome. So I'm going to copy all of this, copy it, because that's going to be a part of my repost. I'm going to scroll down and click on share, and I'm going to share it to groups. Simple as I can make that. Move this out of the way so I don't have to deal with it. And I'm going to go to more options. I'm going to share to a group. Okay. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is clean this up. As you can see from the way it lays out, I don't like the way it lays out, and that happens sometimes. So I want to clean these up. The first 4 lines are usually what's visible. So I'm going to edit and clean these up, the actual original post, just a little bit, so it's a little bit cleaner. And I'm also going to make sure that there's a clean link to the Everhome website, right? This content is designed for Everhome, so my David Bartones, that's already on there. That's good. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to keep it really super clean. Add that down there, and then I'm going to keep this part. Copy it. Generally speaking, the first 4 lines are what's visible. I'm going to save it, keep it just like it is, just so that it's a little cleaner on the front page. And so now this pinned post should look just a tiny bit cleaner. I'll refresh the page so you can see what it looks like. So I just wanted it to be a little bit cleaner, just like that. Simple, right? You can still see the link down below of where I want to drive people. People will click for more. Actually, what I'm going to do is copy all this, just like this. And now I'm ready to share this. So there's some places I like to share stuff. First thing I always do before I do any of this is I want to make sure that I'm sharing it as my personal profile, because that's how I joined all the groups. I'm joining as Leonish. Now, I'm going to now share it in a couple of locations. I'm going to share it publicly on my timeline. That's the first thing I like to do. This has more to do with algorithm hacking. If you want to get into the specifics of it, I want to prove that I'm able to share it on my timeline. I'm also going to share it to my page's story as well. So when you go to my actual Facebook page, go straight over to my Facebook page so you can see this. I apologize if you can hear the airplane in the background. I'm sitting outside. It's a lovely day in San Diego. So when you go to my story now, right, click on it. First thing you'll see is the last thing I posted, but the new one should be, there it is, the SMART goals. And if you click on it, it'll take me right over to the video. Now this gives me complete exposure to the 2,000 or 3,000 people that follow my personal profile. But more importantly, it adds to the algorithm, which is really what's important. The algorithm is based on the amount of shares and the number of people that see it. So if those people stop and see it, then that helps the algorithm spread the information around. All right, so the next thing I want to do is share it to these groups. People get hung up about this. This isn't a big deal. So what I'm going to do, click on more options, and I'm going to share to a group. And as I said before, I copied the initial post, which is right up here. And now I'm going to paste it again because it allows me to. I'm going to take out some of this information, just like this, right? I'm going to move this over. That's HTTPS. I don't know why that thing's so weird. don't know why David's being so weird. Why that whole thing came so weird. So make that. I'm going to clean it all up. Clean this up. Make sure his name's spelled correctly. And finish. All right. Make sure that the Everhomes line, SMART goals presented for realtors, and I'm going to take all this extra information out right there. And I'm going to add a hashtag because a hashtag is searchable. And I'm going to add this to the line below it. There you go. That's going to show up in the post. And now I can share this into real estate groups, right? That's my target audience. That's the people I want watching the actual video. All I have to do now at this point is very simply click the share button. So shared. It will time it out. You can generally share to about 100 groups plus or minus in this method before it has an issue. You do have to take your time because the algorithm is watching for spam, right? But anywhere that I think that real estate agents are going to be, I'm going to place it. I will also occasionally place it in exchange groups, like this Carlsbad exchange group. And that's for a very simple reason. The more and various locations I can see it, when people stop, the metrics works like this. There's a 3-second view, a 6-second view, full video view, an engagement. All of these things matter. So you want a wide variety of these things to happen. So anywhere that I think that I can get real estate agents or even interested parties to learn about the Everhome name, because I'm building brand awareness, even in these yard sale groups, I'm creating name awareness for David. I'm creating name awareness for myself. I'm putting people on the Everhome website. I'm putting myself out there for my own personal website so that people can learn how this is documented and watch this video. This is nothing difficult that I'm doing right here. This is just a business page that I created, and now I'm just sharing this information into each of these groups. This will increase the number of people that are exposed to it. And for each 3-second person who stops and views a few seconds of it, or 6 seconds, or 1 minute, or 3 minutes, or the entire length, all these things make changes to the actual algorithm. But more importantly, it starts to target real estate agents because the bulk of the information is being sent directly, as you can tell, to real estate people. And the reason I'm sending it to real estate people is that's what the content's geared for. If I was doing stuff for Everhome, which I'm going to do in a couple of videos, right? The next video will be creating unique content, and then I'm going to share it into the Banning Beaumont online yard sale area. And the messages will be geared directly at people who want to go online and pay a flat fee to go onto that website. And my goal is to try to get 100 people onto the website. And I'm going to document all of it. But right now, my goal is to get real estate agents to see this information, right? It's all very simple. If you want help or advice, go to honish.io. And you can actually see my cell phone numbers there. You can send me a text, or you can send me an email, and I will be happy to talk and work with you. I meet with people for free. Again, no obligation whatsoever. I'm not looking for new clients. I only, if rarely, take new clients. David is one of my clients. I'm his spokesman. I do it for other people on a very limited basis based on my schedule these days. And you can do everything I'm showing you right now. Again, real estate agents, I'm going to show this all the way through it, and I will show you some of the results of what this actually produces. So I've been doing this for about the last 3 or 4 weeks, this very specific way to show you what kind of traffic it gets and how many views it gets and how this actually works. So I'll speed this up a little bit. Because I'm probably going to post to, I don't know, a couple hundred groups or so. We'll see how it goes. If I can do it all pretty quickly, it shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes, but I'll keep talking to you while it happens. Again, specifically, if I'm looking for homeowners, I'm going to go into FSBO groups, right? I'm going to produce content specific to those groups. The reason you're seeing diehard boxing groups, one of my clients is a podcast on boxing, so they want to expose their message in a boxing group, and that's my job, to provide that content into those groups. Simple as that. And so I'll keep going, and I'll keep going. Investors, sometimes I'll put it into a regular group or a regular buy and sell group. Again, the goal is to get people, you've got to keep changing the algorithm, and I think that's what most of the people don't get. Now, there is a much simpler way you can boost the post, you can target the posting, you can pay for it. I like those methods, and we've talked about it on this call, that there is a reason to do those things, and I don't disagree with it. If you have the budget, you can create exact profiles of where you want the information to go, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. If you have the budget to do it, then by all means do it. I am showing it this way because for two reasons. Number one, my clients want very specific results. And as much as I trust Facebook to say that they're doing what they say they're doing, I also don't trust Facebook to do what they say they're doing, right? It's just that simple on my methodology for deciding where I place my content. If I place my own content, I know exactly where my content is going. As simple as that. It's going into the Van Nuys buy and sell group. It's going into these places. They are places that I have joined, right? And if you're once again wondering why am I putting it into these locations, because if I get one or two views in that group, when I get a stronger view rate in the real estate groups, it will increase their own personal algorithms, like in the New York real estate group. So I try to change it up as much as possible and add other locations. I think it's really important to vary the message. Since it's specifically about real estate, my experience has been that most people who watch our videos in regards to this particular content are only interested in this kind of information. So we pick up real estate agents pretty much throughout the way we view it by using this methodology. I do like to spread the message as far as I can across the country. That's why I keep a fairly diverse set of locations, and it pays off a lot later on, especially when I'm doing marketing specifically for a client. But having access to these buy and sell groups, these classified groups, and sharing into these groups really pays off with adjusting the overall, and I keep saying the word algorithm, whatever voodoo they do over at Facebook. I'm just telling you right now, this seems to be the most diverse way to get the most people to see our message. And I'll talk about how many people see the message in just a minute, because I'm coming up near the end of the number of places that I'm going to share it to. So I'm going to keep adding it to a bunch of variable locations. So if I was hired to be a spokesman or a representative for a real estate agent, I would do it specifically to their city. I do like using all of the state, because generally speaking, for my clients, your real estate license works for the entire state. And I think it's important to be a real estate agent for the entire state. So trying to stick to the major metros, it does give you referrals. So when I'm pulling deals, say for San Diego clients, I like to also include San Francisco, Los Angeles, Orange County, and post throughout the state. Again, name awareness is really important, especially when you're doing online content, right? And that's why you specifically want to stick with content. I think the thing that I'm most asked to do lately is create unique content on a weekly basis for my clients, because right now you will not be able to do spam type pitches, and it's going to be a thing. It really is going to be a thing, and I want to bring this up because I know in San Diego we moved to a purple COVID level, and because of that, we're going to close down businesses again in San Diego County here shortly. And that's a very real thing. And the reason I tell you that is because if you're not online, if you don't have a website, if you don't have a way to share your message, if you don't have a way to collect your clients' information, as we talked about in part one, right? If you don't have those things, you are going to struggle when you can't go out and knock on doors, when you can't go out and meet clients. You're going to have to start creating video content. You're going to have to start creating audio content. You're going to have to start spreading your message as far as you can, near and wide, to get people to hear your message, to see your name, to know that you are interested in doing real estate. I mean, that's just kind of the reality of what's happening here with the market. I've read recent reports right now. It's not any kind of scare pitch. The reality is they are strongly talking about shutting the country down for another 4 to 6 weeks when the next president takes over. Or if for some reason Trump wins again by a recount for whatever reason. Again, my politics aren't the big issue here. My point is, what is it that my clients want to do, right? And that's get more leads, right? Even in David's case, the reason we're doing what you're seeing right now is strictly for name awareness of Everhomes for real estate agents and homeowners. So the next video will be creating the content for homeowners. This is creating content for real estate agents. And that's my job, to make sure that people get it and as many people as possible see it. I'm showing you that it can be done. I'm doing it. It does take what we call sweat equity in my business. I'm not telling you that this is simple, and I'm kind of giving you some inside hacks and information on how to do it. But you know, once you have it in place, this all isn't that bad. I'm going to move this all the way down to the end and just pop a couple more locations as quick as I can. And then I will show you some of the results of how these numbers actually look. Because I have so many groups, I could probably sit here and be on this video indefinitely showing you all the places. But again, finding locations and putting this up as frequently as I can is not a big deal. The other thing is to try to make friends with as many people as possible. As you can see, sort of the right-hand side of the screen. I try to engage as many people as I can on the internet. I try to keep my algorithm showing that I'm a person and not a spammer. These are all very important things when you're talking about the reality of setting up, you know, the way to get more people to hear or see your message. And I'm almost done here. There's a couple more to post that I want to make sure, since I'm just here, I'll get them done anyway. Again, these are all public groups that you can join. If you're a part of these groups, you'll be able to see the posts I'm actually putting up. But again, it's content, right? The actual part one of this video is a very systematic step-by-step concept of a video that's beneficial to creating better business for you. So once this is all done, all you got to do is keep going, keep posting, keep clicking the correct button. And then once that's all done, okay, we'll go back to the initial page so that I can show you how it all looks, right? Click share, share. There, simple as that. Now it's all caught up and it's all done. And scroll down. I think I got all everybody. Ooh, I got a few more real estate groups. Share, share. And again, there it is. I actually got restricted. You can only put so many up. They're declaring me spam. Now, generally, it's only 24 hours the first time, so it's pretty straightforward. It's not that big a deal. If they catch you being an excessive spammer, they will pull it, right? So your business page will allow you to have insights. Your insights will let you know if your marketing is being done correctly. I'm going to create content in the next video. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to post it onto my page, and then tomorrow I'll put up a video Today is Thursday, so on Friday you will actually see just before the weekend, and I intend to post my content throughout the weekend into the buy-sell groups. But all of my videos have engagements and reach, right? So the video we just did, which has only been up for maybe 8 to 10 hours, has a current reach of 127. When things are done correctly, your reach becomes 1.8. That means that these are all organic, non-paid, right? They will keep it separate, but it's strictly organic. I do not pay for my leads. 75 means the number of people that clicked on it and went to additional sites, right? So the better I do, the more reach I have. See, as you can see, I don't pay for any of my stuff. It is all based on the content that I put out. And my goal is to get as many people engaged and as clicking as much as humanly possible. My clients, including David, want me to put real people that are organic, not paid, because I can't consistently dictate how those people are. So what you're looking at is exactly how I achieved the 3.9 or the 1.8. That's 1,800 people who are aware of Everhomes and the content we created. Check back at Honish.io. Part 3 should be up by Friday, November the 13th, as well as I should have 3 different types. I'll do a video on each type of content and how I achieved them. So you'll probably get parts 3, 4, and 5 on November 13th. If you'd like to reach me and you have questions about your own personal business, go to Honish.io, right at the top of the page. This isn't really difficult. Right at the very top of the page is my cell phone and my email address right up here. I'll highlight it for you so you can see it right up here at the top. There's also a button where you can get a hold of me. Again, thanks for stopping by the website or watching this video however you saw it. Maybe you saw it as a post that I put in one of the real estate groups. Whatever the case, thanks again. Keep an eye out for part 3. Also, there will be on my website at Honish.io a link to our library of coaching calls and a way for you to join us as well. So just go to Honish.io for all that information or send me an email at lee@honish.io. Thanks.